Hello everyone, welcome to today's session about the modern data stack fundamentals. Today we are going to talk about one of the interesting topics which most of the data engineers have worked on. It is the ETL or ELT or even the latest trend around reverse ETL. Most of the data engineers would have worked on various ETL tools or some scripts or some jobs which does the extract, transform, and load. So in today's session, right, we will talk about these fundamentals and some of the modern tools which are trending in 2022 around these technologies. As I mentioned earlier, right, there are three processes that we need to understand: ETL, ELT, and reverse ETL. For time being, let's keep reverse ETL aside. But ETL and ELT is, one of the these are the most popular ones, which are used across any data warehousing or data engineering projects. So, what is ETL? ETL is nothing but your extract, transform, and load. Right? It's the process through which you will first extract the data from the source system. Sources can be structured, semi-structured, or maybe unstructured data. You'll extract the data. You'll transform it using various processing or compute resources, and there are various options available for that, which we'll look at into the next slide. And then finally we load it, and we load it where? Into a warehouse. Since we are talking about the modern data stack, we'll talk mainly about the cloud warehouses like Redshift, Synapse, BigQuery, or Snowflake. So ETL is nothing but you extract the data from the source systems, you do the various transformations, and you load it. Now, what are the various transformations? It can be technical metadata checks, it can be data quality checks, some of the mandatory columns should not be null, a date should be in a specific format, or this can be even business validations. Business validations, as in, let's say you have first name, middle name, last name, and there is a mandate that last name should not be empty or first name should not be empty. So these can be the business validations, or date of birth should not be empty. It should be always populated because it's one of the, let's say, important column. So these kind of transformations can be done into this transformation layer. So when we started, right, like couple of decades ago, ETL was very popular. And then a new concept came in, which is known as ELT. So what happens in ELT? You still have the sources where you have to extract the data, but before you transform, you first load the data into your warehouse. Now, let's say we are loading it into Snowflake. So in ELT, the main difference as compared to ETL is you load the data into your warehouse and then you will do the transformations. Okay, then you will do the transformation. So it's like once you have loaded the data, you will use the compute of that particular warehouse to do the transformations. So the difference is, see, in ETL you are first doing the transformations and then loading the data, but in ELT you are first loading the data and then you are doing the transformations, which is nothing but the using the compute power of that particular warehouse. Now what's the advantages, right? The data is quickly available. See, in ETL you had to wait till all these transformations happens, and sometimes there are millions of records on which you have to do that. It takes time, like 2 hours, 3 hours, for the data to be made available. In ELT, the data is quickly available in the most raw format. Okay, it is not cleansed data, but it is available as is immediately, so that people can start using it or consuming it. And then you do the transformations within the warehouse itself. Okay, now there is another concept called as reverse ETL. Okay, what is reverse ETL? It is nothing but the reverse of this particular ETL. So you have the data which is in the warehouse, you'll do some transformations and you'll extract it. So it is you can consider it as extracting the data from your warehouse and sending it back to the source systems. Okay, and you can send it through CSVs or any other file format also. So we have been doing this, right, in various shapes and forms, but nowadays there are specific tools available in market which can do this easily for you. Okay, that is reverse ETL. Now let's look at the various tools which are available in market to do this, right? What is the modern data stack? What are the tools that people are using it? Okay, so from a previous lecture, you may remember these are all the source systems. We have structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data, and then we are loading it into various types of either data lakes or warehouses, right? We have various cloud providers and their data lakes and the warehouses. So to do ETL, right, what are the various options available? So initially, right, couple of decades back, there were these ETL tools available like Informatica, Data Stage, Ab Initio. Some of the older folks, right, would have worked on these. Um so these were the tools which were very popular that time, and they were used widely for any of the ETL jobs. Uh, After that, right, these were all proprietary tools, right? After that, some of the open source tools started gaining momentum, like Talent or Pentaho. Okay, a Talent came up with the Talent Open Studio, and now they also have a commercial offering as plus a complete suite of products. Right, these were very popular that time. Nowadays, what is used mostly are the cloud native tools. Like if you are into AWS world, you'll either use Glue or EMR. If you are into Azure, you'll use ADF, right? So if you want to use something within the cloud, cloud native ETL tools, you can make use of these. Along with this, there are some new age tools, okay, which are very popular because of the simplicity that they can bring in. Okay, and let's try to concentrate on these. Like there are tools like Fivetran, Airbyte, or Stitch again, it's a talent company only. What these tools offer, right? Let's say if you're trying to use Fivetran, you have built-in connectors. You don't really have to worry about connecting to a CSV or connecting to YouTube, connecting to Twitter, right, or even Salesforce or SAP, right, or any of the RDMS source systems like Oracle, SQL Server, right? All these connectors are readily available, so you don't have to really do any coding and all. See, in the previous ETL tools, right, it was a bit difficult to connect to these sources, right, initially when they started with. Then they also came up with new connectors. Similarly, Fivetran and all these new age tools, they have all these connectors readily available. Along with this, they can also do a near real-time replication as well. So let's say you are trying to load the data from your source system into Snowflake. You just have to mention the connectivity, what is the source system, what is the target system. That's it. Once the pipeline is set, right, it will do all the replication from source to target. You really don't have to worry about having those schedules or having micro batches or running them EOD batches to move the data or to get them in sync. All these tools can do that. So your change data capture, okay, incremental delta replication, all these things are done by these new age ETL tools, and that is why they are gaining so popularity. These are like low code, no code kind of a tools. Airflow is mainly an orchestrator, but some of the folks are using it as an ETL tool where you can write Python scripts and just orchestrate or schedule that to do your ETL jobs. And Spark is most widely used, most popular framework which has been used a lot. You can use it in Glue, you can use it in EMR. If it is Databricks, right, again it is based on Apache Spark. So yes, Spark has always been there. You can do a lot of ETL kind of a stuff using Apache Spark also. So that's one set. Second set is when we talk mainly about ELT, that is where the cloud warehouses come into picture, right? You will load the data first into Snowflake or Synapse or Redshift, right, or BigQuery, and then you can write your scripts, right, SQL scripts to do the transformation. So this is the ELT. You get the data, right, and then to get the data, you can use this in combination also, right? You can use Fivetran to extract the data from source systems and put it into your Snowflake, and then you do the that will tackle your extract and load. And for the transformation part, you can do those transformation within Snowflake, right, you using the Snowflake code, or you can write SQLs or SQL or PL SQL scripts also. So ELT can be done using these warehouses. When we talk about these, DBT is a framework that is being talked a lot about these days. Full form is data build tool. What it does is it brings some modularity to your SQL scripts. So like you have a normal code like a program, right, where you have different modules, you can have a very similar approach to that to your ELT SQL script. So you can have modules, you can reuse them, and you can have them in a proper structure. So DBT is something which is again very I won't say it is still widely used, but there is a lot of interest among data engineers where they have started exploring DBT and to see how that can fit into the scheme of the things. You can definitely check it out. They now also have their cloud version. which you can try it out. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube also. You can attend some of the webinars where you will try to understand how DBT works with this ELT approach. The third is the reverse ETL that we spoke about. There is a tool called Census, and there are a few others as well, which are providing this kind of a provisioning of having a reverse ETL. So it's like it will connect to the warehouse, it will provide those connectors, it will give you some of the flexibility to extract the data in the file formats that you want, right? If you don't want to use that, again, you can have your native features. You can write your custom code. Let's say, to give an example, you want to get the data out of Snowflake, you can write some custom code in SQL. Using that, you can extract the data. So even that is fine. But if you want something more around it, you can use tools like Census. And there is a whole a different area around this. It's not just reverse ETL, but also the let's say operational analytics. This whole area revolves around this. You can explore this further as well and see, if you have a use case around that, you can definitely think about Census or any other tools also. So these are all the different tools which are available around ETL and ELT. If you want to pick 2 or 3 among them, I would suggest, right, Airflow definitely, not just as an orchestrator, but if you have some very low requirement, very minimal requirement around ETL, since you would be using an orchestrator, you can think about using Airflow. Primarily it is being used as orchestrator, but you can think about it. DBT is definitely being talked a lot, so you can explore that. And finally, Fivetran, right? Very good connectivity. It has you don't have to really worry about writing a code to get the data, extract the data, do the CDC, right? CDC is a difficult process. You have to ensure that nothing is being missed. So all those can be done directly by Fivetran. So you can worry, you don't have to worry about these things, but you can concentrate mainly on your business application. So yeah, these are a few tools you can definitely check out. And obviously, if it is ELT, you can look at Snowflake and Redshift and BigQuery. They do offer a lot of flexibility for doing ELT also. So yeah, that's it for today's topic. We'll continue this series of session. If you have liked this content, do comment and let me know what you would like to know in your next session. And do follow me on Twitter or my writings on Medium. And do subscribe for my channel for more such content. Thank you.